Hi, I'm Mark Nickerson. Welcome to another episode of Issues and Answers, where we talk about East Lyme things for about a half an hour or so. Today is going to be a great show. Don't mind the golf shirt. I kind of forgot we were doing the show today when I got dressed. And well, it is summer. It's when we're taping this, it's like 90 degrees outside the studio, so it's appropriate dress wear. So anyway, here we are, middle of July. That's when we're taping this. You might be seeing it a little bit later than that, but we are just finished to celebrate East Lyme, probably the best ever. You know, these days, not to bring up a negative subject right away, but security is an issue when we're having 10,000, 20,000 people all converge into one spot. And our police, our EMS, our fire, our emergency operations center, all work like a machine, like clockwork. And they bring us a fare that is as safe as can be, because anything is possible, where we have those mobile units. If you were down there, you saw mobile units on both sides of Main Street with cameras in the air, and we have cameras all over the place watching people and paying attention. We had the K9 dogs out and all that. I hope you had a good time so that you didn't have to think about your safety, and you didn't have to think about all the things that went along behind the scenes. I hope you just walked down Main Street and got some food, saw some great performances from the regional theater group, and maybe even saw your first selectman handing out water bottles. Then went over to see some great fireworks. Dominion has been giving us, sponsoring the fireworks for well over a decade, maybe since the very beginning. And I'd like to personally thank, here on the air was my opportunity to do so, thank you, Dominion, for being a great partner, a great neighbor, a great community member. They're always there when we ask for them. And, we don't blow this thing way up and, write Dominion in the sky, but people do know that Dominion's there supporting us. And those fireworks are dynamite. You didn't have to fight big crowds. We had a lot of people down there, but it wasn't crazy like New York or Boston or even New London during the Sailfest fireworks. It was just perfect. And I hope you got a chance to go up and see the bandstand. There's a great band on the bandstand. If you've missed it, there's going to be bands every Friday night at the bandstand. So here we go. Now that summer's kicked in, we have bands on the bandstand on Friday nights. And I think Wednesday nights, Parks and Rec are putting performers, more acoustic in nature, down at the beach at McCook's. So get out, walk the boardwalk, take your honey for a little dinner downtown, walk over to the bandstand and see some great bands. We have a theater performance later in August. We're looking forward to that as well. The band shell is a great addition to our town. We're working on that Main Street park. We dropped the mobile station, and we're doing environmental test pitting right now to see if there's any toxins in the ground. That's a brownfield spot of land because of all the gas tanks, diesel tanks have been on that land for so long. So we're testing that, and once we get the all clear, then we have a committee that's putting together plans for a park. We're envisioning lots of green space, a few trees on either end for shade, but lots of just great visual right to the water, a raised platform so you can see over the tracks if you're sitting on a bench. It'll be tastefully done, and it will be just a wonderful gathering spot, or a nice, if nothing else, a nice welcome mat for our town for the people coming in. Certainly sets the stage. We're full on with the beaches and all that. We've been crushed with beaches. I think people are finding the seashore. Those that live inland are coming down to the beaches. Of course, Rocky Neck being closed for a critical weekend did not help. We're working with Parks and Rec to try to rectify this. I have plans in the coming year. Of course, Park and Rec Commission control our parks and our beaches, and I'm trying to work with them. I don't make those rules. I don't decide how much the beach passes are going to be, or if we're going to sell them or not sell them to outsiders. I'm going to work with them in the off season. We have to find a plan where we can save some spots for our residents. Right now, it's a little bit of mayhem down there, and I apologize for anybody that's gone down there midday or so and been locked out of spaces. Our beaches, just like Rocky Neck, filled to capacity early. So please, if you are going down to our beaches, get down there. If you're there by 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're more than likely going to be directed to a parking space. So that's enough on that. Today I have a great host, a great guest. I'm a great host.
You are.
So I'm not. I'm awful at this. But people watch anyway. Go figure. Why are you watching this? Erin Sousa Stanley. You all know her. She's the regional theater, East Lyme Regional Theater guru. She calls herself artistic director, but she's everything. She's cook and bottle washer, too. Welcome, Erin, to my great show.
Thank you so much for having me, Mark. It's a pleasure.
You know, you, like many of my guests, get the call at around 9 in the morning going, what are you doing at 1? Thank you for being accommodating. The reason why I called you up and said, come on in, is first of all, you have a great program, but you have something coming up. Let's start at the end and then work backwards. Fiddler on the Roof is coming to East Lyme.
Yes, we are so excited. We open next week, so it's July 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th at East Lyme High School. So the 27th, 28th, and 29th are all evening performances at 7:30 p.m. And the Sunday performance is a matinee at 2 p.m. We are so excited, and this is our 8th year, and we think might be the best show yet.
Well, the talent pool that you're drawing from gets better and better every year. That's for sure. You know, you're training them, they're getting more experience, and these shows are getting better and better. Not to say the one 8 years ago wasn't great, because it was. But 4 shows, is this the first time you've put on 4?
There has been a year where we've done 4 shows,
Okay.
and we wanted to bring that back because the community has really embraced this project. I actually received a call from Georgia yesterday. A family that's coming in to visit found out about us, and Fiddler on the Roof is a very popular show, and it was near and dear to their heart. So she called me to make sure she had tickets. So
No kidding.
we're reaching Georgia, so it's pretty exciting.
Wow. Are they going to be here anyway, or are they flying in just for the performance?
I think they're going to be here anyway, I have to be honest. But we were really touched because she had heard about us and the production and was, nervous about whether she could get tickets.
Right.
So there's still tickets. They can get them at the door as long as we don't sell out prior. They can also go to elrt.brownpapertickets.com.
Brownpapertickets.com. So
Yes.
ELRT.
Dot.
Okay. Not slash.
Yes, dot.
All right.
Brownpapertickets.com. And if anybody forgets that, they can always go to our Facebook or Instagram page, East Lyme Regional Theater.
Terrific.
We'd love to see everybody at the show. It's going to be incredible. It's a very heartwarming story, and I am just thrilled to have such a talented cast.
Well, it's a classic.
It is.
I got to admit, I've never seen it. I've been to Broadway.
dear.
I've been to Broadway
lot?
a couple dozen times.
Yes.
But and it was involved a little bit of theater in high school and even in college. It was more orchestra pick kind of guy. I was the drummer, obviously.
Great drummer.
Maybe. So I'm plugged into that thespian world, but
Right.
I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof.
Well, it is definitely a classic. It's been revived on Broadway twice.
Yeah.
It's won several Tony Awards, including Best Revival in 1991, I think it was. And the movie brought in 3 Academy Awards, and that was 1971.
Okay. 1970. I've never seen
Yes.
the movie either. I know what it's about, I think, but this will be great, and I think a lot of people probably fit in my same story. That we've heard about it, we know the songs because they're classics. Isn't it Rodgers and Hammerstein
No,
production? It is not.
So it's Stein and Sheldon Brock. So the great thing.
See, I know nothing.
It's okay. I actually made notes to make sure I pronounced their names correctly and did all that, so I should probably double check. But
That's good.
the beauty of it
They're not
is,
watching, trust me.
the music that the audience will be so familiar with will be Matchmaker. It's
Right.
a huge classic.
Right.
If I Were a Rich Man.
Right.
And don't we all sing that today?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
and
Especially in Connecticut.
Yes, in Connecticut. And the beautiful, heartwarming song titled Sunrise, Sunset, which is
Right.
often played at weddings.
Weddings.
It's gorgeous.
Classic.
Gorgeous.
Classic.
Gorgeous.
I'm so looking forward to it. Let's roll tape. No, I'm just kidding. Let's roll all the way back to Erin's roots. Who are you, Erin Sousa Stanley? How did you get here? Where did you first get introduced to the theater and all that? And let's start there.
Sure. I grew up in Waterford, was born in Florida, but came here when I was about 4 years old. My mother tells the story. She was actually just asked this weekend at Celebrate East Lyme after our performance. Someone said, "Did you get your daughter into theater?" And the story is that the second I learned how to read, I would read the newspaper and I would look for opportunities, because at that time they would be printed a lot, in the newspaper that had anything to do with singing or acting or dancing. And I would bring them to my mom, who was by no means a stage mom, but was very supportive of my family. And we would go, and I would audition, and I would dance, and I would sing.
You were 4 or 5?
I started right when I learned how to read.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I started.
So you did the whole, obviously, then fast forward, high school, maybe college,
Right.
Or that time in your life, you really got into that stage
Yes.
stuff.
My mom brought me to New York a few times, but it was difficult being at school here in Connecticut and traveling. I was a finalist for the Mickey Mouse Club. It was like one of the last ones cut, and I almost made that. But I mostly, stayed here and got my training in this area. Worked at high school, studied whenever possible. My parents did everything they could to help me study dancing and singing and acting and piano. And then I went on to college at the Boston Conservatory of Music, studied musical theater, and then was very fortunate to receive a scholarship at the National Theater Institute right here in Waterford at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center.
Right.
Studied there and studied in Stratford.
So let's for the record say that this is not Erin's hobby. This is not something Erin's picking up on the side, and her real passion is something else. This has been your passion since the day you were standing up, reading a newspaper, and maybe even performing the newspaper for your family, kind of reading with a dramatic flair. But always theater, always spotlight, always improving your acting and musical skills.
Yes, any show that we saw, I always wanted to audition.
Here's one I'm going to put you on the spot. This is not a softball question. This is a hardball question.
Okay, I'm ready.
How many people have you influenced in this world?
Oh, that's a
How many
hard
people have you
question.
inspired? Hundreds, thousands, right?
Well, that's very sweet. I really appreciate you saying that.
You've shared your talent directly.
I've been working, directing, and choreographing and teaching pretty much since I was able to, so like 21 years old.
Wow.
And I've been very fortunate that a lot of my students have gone on and done professional theater, because I also am the theater director at Stonington High School.
And that's a job. That's your full-time occupation.
Well, it's not full-time, it's
No, it is.
part-time.
Okay.
But it seems like full-time with all the hours that I put in at home.
Everything you do feels full-time. To me, I just watch you, and it feels full-time.
So there are several students that have gone on to do professional theater, and that really have said to me that if it wasn't for me, this is not what they would be doing. And that's probably the most special thing you can hear as a director.
Yeah. That's the pay. That's the pay.
That is the pay, because it's not physical. I don't have a big, huge bank account.
If you were a rich woman.
Right. Right. So hearing those stories and just seeing them succeed is so rewarding and enriching, and it's probably the thing that makes me most proud, other than being a mom.
Yeah. It's well said, Erin. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking, I've been watching you from the wings for 8 years, and directly from the corner of the stage for the last couple as first selectman. And you know how much I support your organization,
I'm very
East Lyme
grateful.
Regional Theater. But just watching these little chickadees, these little ducklings, have the opportunity to be on a stage and perform, and that might not end up being their career. They might not even do another play.
Right.
But it gives them the confidence and the poise for business, for confidence in interviews, for a school or for a job. And it also might inspire their soul. It might inspire their left side the right side of their brain, or whatever side that is that does all that. Obviously, I'm one-sided, or short-sighted when it comes to brain power. That's amazing. It's amazing. So how did East Lyme Regional Theater develop? How did it come to be?
That's a good question. It's a really neat story, actually. I was in town and I was teaching theater and teaching music and working at Stonington, and one of my private voice students who was at East Lyme High School at the time, her mom came to me and said, "There's no summer theater anymore. Lily wants to go on and do this." Lily Freiberg, her mom's Julie.
Right.
She wants to go on and do this as her career, and she needs training, and she needs to be involved in a summer theater program. And she came to me and said, "I think you're the person to do it."
Wow.
Yeah.
One
so
person tapping you on the shoulder
I was touched by that.
and giving you
yeah.
that confidence.
That confidence, exactly.
And the seed of an idea.
Yes, most definitely. And then we were very fortunate. I had since then, prior to that, I had worked for Colchester Community Theater, which is a great organization that they too are supported by their Parks and Rec department and their town. And so I modeled East Lyme Regional Theater with the help of our amazing Parks and Rec department. I have to give a shout out to Dave Putnam.
And the whole crew there.
And the whole crew,
Yes.
and Carol and Robin, they're just wonderful.
Yeah.
And they had faith in me, and they took a chance on me and on this program. And I loved what Dave Putnam said. He said, "You know, Erin, we support a lot of sports programs and exercises programs here, but there are kids that need the arts in their lives."
Yeah.
And he embraced it,
He
and
sure
it was
did.
we were so grateful, and the town of East Lyme and yourself, Mark,
Right.
and supported us. And we're under their umbrella, and we're very grateful, so grateful. And I love that our community of East Lyme, took a chance on someone, a resident here,
Right.
and said, "We want to get behind this." And I hope that they know what an impact they're having on so many lives, young lives, old lives. We say 0 to 100 are involved in East Lyme Regional Theater.
That's great. We around that time, we created what's called a special revenue account with Parks and Rec, and this is getting into the behind the baseball, the behind the scenes stuff. But we allowed Dave and his crew over at Parks and Rec to be creative. Instead of giving all the fees back to the town, it would go back into the general fund. We said, you earn it, you keep a portion of it, and then you reinvest it in your programming. They're going out and looking for other programming or to enhance programming. We have the best fields in southeastern Connecticut, if not eastern Connecticut. We get awards on our fields because we're able to spend time and effort to make those fields right. We have some of the best beaches, obviously. We have the boardwalk. There's so much that they do. And this was an opportunity that Dave was able to take because of the special revenue and said, you know what? There are kids that excel in music and theater, and let's support them too. So it was it was timing. The planets all lined up perfectly. It was right timing. So that's cool. What was your first production?
So our first production was a Broadway musical review that we sort of put together.
Yes,
it was called
right.
This Memory of Mine.
Yes, right.
And it sort of took place in an attic, and a mother recalled the memories of her mother, who was an old Broadway star.
Right.
But I did want to mention too that when I started East Lyme Regional Theater, if it wasn't for my helpers, my founder is Cheryl Whipple, just an amazing woman who's been so supportive over the years. And actually Ellie Hazen helped us start it as well.
Right.
And I'd like to give a shout out to them.
You just did.
So
Give
that they
another
were
one.
so supportive, and they helped make it possible. And our town and our community that embraced us, and we had 0 in our budget, and if it wasn't for people placing ads and people applying for grants at their workplace and just getting behind us and loaning us their furniture or whatever we needed for the show, it wouldn't have been possible. And our school system too, of course.
Right,
our
because
first
they allow
selectman,
us to... No,
yourself, but also our superintendent of
Yeah.
schools and East Lyme Public Schools, and how
Right.
supportive they have been embracing this program.
It's I learned. You remind me. I learned long ago, and then was reminded as I got into this job. We accomplish nothing alone. As we stand alone, we accomplish nothing. When we have a team, when it's a we thing, it works and we succeed. And when we stand alone trying to do it by ourselves, we fail. So you brought all those people up for a
Yes,
reason, because
yes.
you couldn't have done it alone.
Not at all.
And no production gets done alone.
Right.
I try to insert myself in your universe every once in a while, and I'm amazed at the amount of love and support and people with genuine passion, not just theatrical passion, but just I want to do something.
Right.
And this is something that's really cool in our community. I'm glad it's part of Parks and Rec, but you're the artistic director, and you take charge. But you do it with so many people around you supporting you. It's
Most
so cool.
definitely.
So cool.
Currently, if it wasn't for Janice Tangney, who's a big supporter of ours, and Sally Cheney, I just want to mention Rosemary Littlefield.
The list goes on.
It goes on and on.
You'll never be able to remember
But they're
them
huge
all.
supporters, and they're part of our production team. And so it's not just me, it's a family. And that's what I love about East Lyme Regional Theater. We are a family.
And it's not just East Lymers.
Oh,
it is a regional theater.
It really
is. True
is.
word. You bring people in from other towns.
All over. And we were really excited. Our Tevye comes from Colchester.
Right.
And he's an amazing talent. We have people from Old Saybrook and Uncasville and Norwich and New London, Waterford. Great.
But
Everywhere.
a lot of East Lymers.
A lot of East Lymers.
So it'll be like going to Stop and Shop. You're going to go to the show.
And you're going to see.
On what dates again? February.
July. So next weekend. So
Next
get
week.
ready. Get your tickets now. July 27th at 7:30. That's Thursday. We gave everybody a Thursday show this year. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because a lot of times people go on vacation.
Weekends, right.
So you can hit us on Thursday, catch an amazing show, and then travel on Friday.
And then take off.
So then there's another, or you can see the
Come
show
back on
Friday
Friday.
night, 7:30.
Saturday night.
Saturday, 7:30.
And Sunday matinee.
2 o'clock. Perfect for everyone. Perfect timing.
Yeah. And you're praying for a little rain on that Sunday.
I am.
It's a beach town. People go to the beach. My guest has been Erin, Sousa, Stanley. How do you pick these shows?
Oh, that's a great question. I get that question a lot. So I want shows that have a message and that are family shows, especially in the summer. I want to attract everyone. And I want to take them away from the world today and maybe bring them to a different place.
Right.
Share with them the joy that we feel on stage and make sure that we can sort of touch their hearts when they watch the show. It's really important to me. But also, I like to think of sort of my talent pool.
Right. Who do you have?
And who might be interested in auditioning.
Plug them.
Although I must say that our auditions are, everyone has to audition. No one is ever promised a part. And we give parts to anyone, no matter what community you're from.
Great.
But I do
Great.
like to see who's going to be around and
These
what's going to work.
productions have gotten better and better. I'm telling you, if you haven't been, go. It's next weekend, the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th?
Yes.
Did I get that
4
right?
days.
So how much are tickets?
So tickets are $12 for seniors, students, and kids, and $17 for adults.
A bargain.
A bargain.
A bargain. When you think of all the time, talent, energy, and costs that goes into these productions, it is a bargain. Come on out, and it's local. 10 minutes after the production, you can be home in bed. It's not like you're going to Broadway and taking the train and all that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of people that you know and a lot of people that you just like to support because they're supporting our community. And Erin is one of the biggest supporters out there. I thank you very much for coming on today. Short notice,
you.
but and a busy schedule. Man, you're putting on a major production, and you took 25 minutes to come out and talk to me. And you thought this would be a long period of time. We ran out of time. My name is Mark Nickerson, First Selectman of East Lyme. Thanks for tuning in to Issues and Answers. And if you have any suggestions for show topics, or if you want to reach out to me, reach out to mnickerson@eltownhall.com. And, I could be... it could be 10:30 at night and I'm watching a ball game and I'll answer the question that it might be. You can call me anytime, reach out to me anytime. This is Mark Nickerson signing off for Issues and Answers. I'll see you next time.